Science declared them extinct. Case closed. Species erased from Earth forever. But what if extinction isn't always permanent? What if some creatures didn't vanish? They just learned to hide in places we haven't fully explored. Tonight, I'll reveal 7 animals officially declared extinct that might still exist. Some cases are scientifically plausible. Others defy explanation. And the evidence, it's more compelling than you might think. Part 1. The methodology. Before we examine these cases, understand how extinction is determined. Scientists consider a species extinct when no confirmed sightings occur for decades and extensive surveys find no evidence of survival. But this process has failed before. The coelacanth was extinct for 65 million years until fishermen caught one in 1938. The night parrot vanished from Australia for a century before being rediscovered in 2013. The Laotian rock rat was known only from fossils until locals showed scientists living specimens in 2005. Extinction declarations are based on absence of evidence, not evidence of absence. And in remote regions where humans rarely venture, that distinction matters. We'll examine 7 cases ranked by scientific plausibility, from possibly surviving to almost certainly extinct. The ranking is based on habitat accessibility, ecological requirements, and quality of recent evidence. Creature 7. Pink-headed duck. Plausibility, 610. In the wetlands of India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, once lived the pink-headed duck, a diving species with distinctive rose-colored plumage. Its last scientifically confirmed sighting occurred in 1949, yet it remains listed as critically endangered rather than extinct. Why the hesitation? The bird inhabited remote, dangerous swamps that remain largely unexplored. In 2017, Global Wildlife Conservation attempted surveys near Indaugai Lake in Myanmar, but were blocked by authorities and impassable terrain. One researcher documented a crocodile attack during the expedition. Local reports continue describing distinctive pink-headed waterfowl in inaccessible wetlands. The species' diving ability and preference for dense vegetation make concealment ecologically feasible. However, 75 years without confirmed scientific documentation is significant. Habitat destruction across its historic range has been severe. While survival is possible in isolated Myanmar swamps, probability decreases with each passing year. Comparable case: the Madagascar pouched, a duck species feared extinct until 22 individuals were found in 2006 at a remote volcanic lake. Creature 6. Javan Tiger. Plausibility, 410. Java Island hosts 145 million people, making it Earth's most densely populated island. Yet some believe a tiger subspecies declared extinct in 2003 might still survive there. The evidence: in 2019, hair samples collected from a remote forest were analyzed. DNA testing confirmed Javan tiger markers, not Sumatran tiger contamination. This single piece of physical evidence reignited scientific interest. Rangers continue reporting tracks, kills consistent with tiger predation, and brief sightings in Java's remaining forest fragments. Wildlife investigator Forrest Galante documented suspicious evidence during a 2017 expedition, though nothing definitively conclusive. The problem: tigers require large territories and substantial prey populations. Java's remaining forests are fragmented and heavily surveilled. A breeding population of sufficient size to remain viable would likely leave more evidence. Scientific consensus leans toward extinction, with the 2019 DNA sample possibly from preserved tissue or contamination. However, tigers are remarkably elusive, and small populations have persisted undetected before. Comparable case: the Amur leopard, down to 30 individuals in 2007, now recovered to over 100 through intensive conservation. Creature 5. Large-toothed sawfish. Plausibility, 310. A creature seemingly designed by science fiction, the large-toothed sawfish grows to 25 feet, with a rostrum lined with tooth-like projections. It's a ray, not a shark, inhabiting coastal waters and river estuaries. In United States waters, the species is considered functionally extinct. The last confirmed U.S. sighting occurred in Florida in 1961. Overfishing, habitat destruction, and accidental net capture drove catastrophic population decline. Yet divers in the Gulf of Mexico and Florida Keys occasionally report massive sawfish-like creatures in deep channels. Could relic populations persist in unexplored submarine canyons or river systems? Australian populations survive, proving the species isn't globally extinct. Some biologists theorize that sawfish historically migrated long distances, potentially maintaining secret breeding sites in unexplored coastal areas. However, 60-plus years without confirmed documentation in a relatively well-surveyed region makes survival highly unlikely. Modern sonar, underwater cameras, and fishing technology would have detected a viable population by now. The reports likely represent misidentification of other large rays or sharks, combined with wishful thinking from conservationists hoping for rediscovery. If you're fascinated by the line between extinction and survival, by cases where science has been proven wrong before, subscribe now. We investigate more rediscovery stories, conservation mysteries, and the evidence that separates wishful thinking from scientific possibility. The next cases get even more controversial. Creature 4. Woolly mammoth. Plausibility 2/10. The woolly mammoth, Ice Age icon covered in thick fur, with tusks exceeding 16 feet. Most populations disappeared 10,000 years ago, but a small group survived on Wrangel Island until 4,000 years ago, contemporary with Egyptian pyramid construction. Siberian permafrost has yielded remarkably preserved specimens with intact DNA, enabling genetic sequencing. Scientists are attempting to create cold-resistant elephant hybrids incorporating mammoth genes, not bringing back mammoths, but creating similar animals. The speculation. Hunters and geologists in remote Siberia report massive hairy creatures glimpsed across tundra landscapes. Could tiny mammoth populations persist in unexplored wilderness? The reality, large herbivores require substantial food resources and breeding populations. Mammoths stood 13 feet tall and weighed 6 tons, not animals that could remain undetected in the satellite surveillance era. Any surviving population would leave evidence: tracks, dung, vegetation damage, and carcasses. Modern Siberia, while remote, has been extensively surveyed for oil, gas, and mineral resources. Military radar, commercial aviation, and scientific expeditions cover areas once considered inaccessible. The sightings likely represent bears, moose, or other large mammals viewed under poor conditions and interpreted through wishful thinking. Creature 3. Giant ground sloth. Plausibility 2/10. Modern sloths are small, slow tree dwellers. Their ancestor was radically different. Megatherium stood 13 feet tall, weighed 4 tons, with massive claws capable of stripping vegetation or defending against predators. Archaeological evidence confirms humans hunted giant ground sloths. Burned bones found in Argentina prove people ate them. The timing of human arrival in South America correlates almost perfectly with megafauna extinction, suggesting hunting pressure contributed significantly to their disappearance. Amazon tribes describe enormous slow-moving animals, leaving massive burrows and unusual tracks. Some cryptozoologists point to these accounts as evidence of survival. The scientific assessment: giant ground sloths required substantial food intake and lived in visible numbers. A breeding population would leave extensive evidence: bones, trackways, vegetation damage, and dung. The Amazon rainforest, while vast, has been increasingly surveyed by researchers, loggers, and indigenous communities. No physical evidence, bones, hair, photographs, has emerged despite decades of searching. The tribal accounts likely describe tapirs, anteaters, or misremembered encounters with other large mammals, filtered through oral tradition. Survival probability is extremely low, approaching 0. Creature 2. Saber-toothed cats. Plausibility 1/10. During the Ice Age, multiple saber-toothed cat species existed: Smilodon, Homotherium, Meganterion. Their distinctive fangs, sometimes exceeding 7 inches, punctured prey necks with devastating efficiency. Fossil evidence documents their extinction thousands of years ago as Ice Age conditions changed and human populations expanded. No saber-toothed cat has been scientifically documented in recorded history. The speculation. In Chad and Central African Republic, villagers describe the Javan tiger, a creature larger than lions with two massive fangs. When shown pictures of modern cats alongside Smilodon reconstructions, some locals identify the saber-tooth. The reality: large predators require substantial prey populations and leave extensive evidence. Africa is one of the most studied continents for large mammal research. Camera traps, satellite tracking, and DNA analysis from kill sites have documented every major predator species. A surviving saber-toothed cat population would have been confirmed through physical evidence: bones, scat, hair, photographs, or carcasses. None exist. The Javan tiger accounts likely represent misidentified lions, leopards, or oral traditions conflating multiple animals into a single legendary beast. When researchers show images to people unfamiliar with scientific illustrations, confirmation bias affects identification. Scientific consensus: saber-toothed cats are definitively extinct. Creature 1, Megalodon, plausibility 0.5/10. No discussion of possibly surviving extinct animals is complete without addressing Megalodon, the ultimate sea monster. Growing to 60 feet with bite force exceeding 40,000 pounds per square inch, it was Earth's largest predatory shark. Fossil evidence indicates extinction approximately 2.6 to 3.6 million years ago. Yet speculation persists that Megalodon could survive in deep ocean trenches. The evidence cited: historical reports of massive sharks, including 1875 sailors describing a demon shark and 1918 Australian fishermen claiming to see impossibly large specimens. The scientific reality: Megalodon was not a deep-sea species. It hunted large marine mammals in coastal and mid-depth waters. The Mariana Trench environment, extreme pressure, near-freezing temperatures, minimal food, would not support such a massive warm-water predator. If Megalodon survived, we would find fresh teeth on beaches, bite marks on whales, specimens caught in fishing nets, sonar detections, and carcasses. Whales, Megalodon's primary prey, are extensively tracked. Any predator consuming them would be documented. The coelacanth comparison fails. Coelacanths are small, deep-dwelling fish with minimal ecological impact. Megalodon would be the ocean's apex predator, impossible to miss. Modern ocean surveillance, satellite tracking, deep-sea exploration, commercial fishing covers far more area than people realize. An animal the size of a school bus eating multi-ton prey would leave evidence.
Scientific consensus: Megalodon is absolutely extinct. The speculation persists because people want prehistoric monsters to exist, not because evidence supports it. We examined 7 extinction cases ranging from plausible to impossible. The pattern reveals something important about how we evaluate evidence.
Some species, pink-headed duck, possibly Javan tiger, might survive in small numbers within inaccessible habitat. Their biology, ecology, and recent evidence make survival scientifically defensible, if unlikely. Others, Megalodon, saber-toothed cats, mammoths, are certainly extinct. The speculation persists because absence of evidence feels like possibility, and because humans are pattern-seeking creatures who want mysteries to remain unsolved. The coelacanth, night parrot, and Laotian rock rat teach us that extinction declarations can be premature. But they also teach us that rediscoveries happen through physical evidence, specimens, DNA, photographs, not through hoping hard enough. If you want more investigations where we separate scientific mystery from wishful thinking, where evidence matters more than speculation, there are more cases worth exploring. We've examined creatures that were mythical until science proved them real, ancient animals that shaped human legends, and conservation mysteries with actual evidence behind them. Subscribe to continue these investigations. Question the evidence. Demand physical proof. That's how we separate investigation from fantasy.